Miraculous. Crystal, you want to share that you went through this week?
Well, we just started.
Well, no, last week.
Yeah, last Tuesday.
That's how we do it. Anytime we.
Well, I mean, honestly, I had me and my kid had the flu all week, so nothing.
Oh, so you was out of
exciting happened.
Hey, I'm glad you got that straight for real.
No, I'm good because I wouldn't even came in here like that. I wouldn't even get
that flu chipping people right
now. Yeah, because I ain't never had it. That was my first time, and I thought I'd never get it.
Yeah. You be taking a shot? You take a shot?
Hell no, and I'm still not gonna take it.
It gives you the flu. Stay away from that joint for real.
I wish I would take a flu shot.
Hey, look, what about y'all?
Man, I had a groovy week. What did I do this week? Man, actually, I got too drunk, man. Hanging out with J. Lou for his birthday. Man,
What you was talking about?
Yeah, man. Sunday, man, or Saturday night, man, I got drunk with my neighbor birthday.
I was at one spot, the pin spot.
Pinstripe, what's it? Yeah, Pinstripe's lit.
Penn State.
I thought Pinstripe.
So it was live.
I killed him on the road.
Yeah, Penn State.
Look at this guy.
I was hit up last minute after I already left the area. So it didn't even matter.
Look at this guy. Bro, please tell me you ain't come in here.
Well, let me know next time y'all go, because I want to go. I like to go.
Don't acknowledge him. Nobody.
Don't acknowledge him.
Hey, how can I?
Hey, Ryan T, bro.
Hey, Uncle Bertie. Hey, Ryan T. Hey, Uncle Bertie. Hey, that boy had a good birthday. Y'all wanted a good birthday. Oh, my bad. Out of the bitch. That purple punch. We'll give about the cousin. Hey, man, we all want today, man.
Hey, it was your birthday?
Say the 22nd.
Hey.
So
I'm still accepting.
But you ain't getting nothing from me. I was going to
ask. Don't ask me.
I was wondering, did you have birthday sex or anything?
I was definitely going to ask you.
There'll be people
I didn't, bro.
No, we definitely got the picture of Ryan T in the group chat. His birthday night.
Oh,
solo. How you pass out on a bang?
All you close to
What are you talking about? I was on the beach.
I think we've all had bad.
I was on the beach by myself with my dick in hand. No pootie time.
Night.
Man.
The next day I was up all day, all night. The next day I was up all day. Hey,
how was the birthday food?
He said, I didn't get no butt.
So no.
I'm not the nigga that lies on his dick. I didn't get no butt.
Okay, we can respect that. Q, what's up? What you got?
George, Papa Boo.
What you got?
Oh, man, I was sick, so I'm glad I got over that too, man.
Good.
Yeah,
I is with these CBGBs
go down.
Man, we good though.
6 hours away.
We took them, the pills.
I took hella
them pills.
Them
hella drugs.
Pills
what?
that you gotta take for 7 days.
My baby was in the hospital for a whole week. She home now.
But she good though.
Thank the Lord.
Yeah, stomach bug. Yeah, right.
Oh yeah, how can I post this on my page?
Go find the kitchen web show on Facebook and share it. It's on there right now, live. Well, hey, we started late as usual, so let's go ahead and get to this. We may have a very special guest in the building, but we're not gonna announce it if it doesn't occur. So we gonna keep it moving, keep it trucking.
You know who that is?
Look at that.
Yeah.
Right.
Like Rick Rouse coming through.
Hey,
Right. Stay tuned. All
Ricky.
right, so Kim and Kanye are on Family Feud.
Family Feud. Steve Harvey still hosting Family Feud?
That's what I was wondering.
I thought he was.
Would it
Still
be?
doing it? That's the only thing that's gonna make it lit to me.
And so it's Kanye family including Kim against the Kardashians on Family Feud. Yeah, who checking for that?
I ain't seen the
Everybody
wants
to
to
see
the
it.
episode.
Yeah.
Is the episode?
That's gonna be
Because nobody know about Ye family. So
if they let them go, that's gonna be food. Oh yeah, just answer the phone, hey Mike. Don't worry about it.
it's the special.
Don't worry about it. Go ahead, hey Mike, answer the phone. We take a break, man. Short intermission for the social.
Our special guest is here.
Oh yeah, it's lit then. That's what we're talking about.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you got your phone?
Look, yes, man.
No,
That's my cue to get out of here. She was checking out.
Hold on, baby, I'm getting.
Hey,
Oh, it was.
John Jay is funny.
Oh, okay, that's awesome. What's awesome? That'll work. I'm coming down right now,
Bro, you smacked him on his back like
No, this ain't just today. This ain't just
Oh, it's been a minute. I got you.
Hey, y'all don't
I
have a
knew- I
crown
knew
going
this
around.
day
Where's the
would
crown
come.
at?
I knew this was coming.
Y'all got the crown?
Hey,
There's no liquor in the building tonight?
I got some Cheetos. That's what happened.
Spray yourself, dummy.
Cheetos.
he said it's not gonna work.
You spraying the
Ron,
shirt?
bro, y'all keep going. What family would y'all like to see on Family Feud?
Yeah, who
Like what?
family
Come on,
movie lit on
Beyonce
family?
and Jay-Z, of course, but you know they bougie. They not
Nah,
gonna
you gotta
Nah, I'm trying to see Alicia Keys and
Bro, you
Swiss Beats.
Or have Kevin Hart on there? He would make it
My
lit.
bad.
He would make it lit.
But his kids smarter than him. So
I need to put my family on there.
Oh, boy.
Well, they're too little. You like the grown-ups?
The Debo.
Or I mean, we can just pretend we a family and go on there.
Hey,
You know what I'm
yeah, they need to
saying?
have all the PAC, like five PAC. Versus, I don't care who. We gonna beat them up, everybody.
Me.
Oh, you want to go against us? We gonna go.
No, I'm saying I'm gonna be on the team with you. Why would I go against you?
Oh yeah, it's good. Come on.
This is a problem.
Hey, I'm A1 at Family Feud, for real.
Well, let's get it then. Let's sign up. How we sign up? Do we get
I
paid?
don't know about signing up.
Yeah,
What you gotta do?
Family Feud low key. Hey, but them funny ones be funny like.
Yeah, the dumb people. Just be dumb for no goddamn
They
reason.
say, give me a man's name that
Starts
starts
with
with
Jose.
H. Jose.
Jose.
And he said Jose.
Or look, another, or the last black lady, another word for mommy, that bitch. That, we can't cuss on her right. Oh, y'all, look, y'all gotta understand. Give me the chance to understand we can't cuss. I'm gonna try.
Hey, you good? You know what I'm saying? We all be messing up sometimes. Huh?
Damn, you smell something in here? Cause that smells like
What you smelling?
come out to show you what I smell like.
You got
I smell like
cute.
that.
Cute. Hey, she got. I've been spraying.
Are you talking about some other stuff?
We got a judge
Oh,
coming
I can't
today.
talk about that. I work for the state.
I'm in front of the camera. And shit.
I just smell like Bath and Body Works, and I took a shower before I came.
That's
hope
good.
so.
So, always, baby, you gotta stay clean.
Hey.
Hygiene, the mother.
Bro, look at this man, bro.
What is wrong with him? He's wrong. Sit his ass down. We can't even have a proper conversation.
She not gonna be gone.
Boss,
She
what's
not
going
gonna
down?
be gone.
What's up here, Midland?
So, Keith, how you feel about me being y'all
Oh,
the
yeah.
co-host? You all board or what?
Yeah, it's lit.
Okay, well, hey, I'm here then.
What's up? Ain't you supposed to be out of town?
Yeah, oh boy, I missed this truck up.
Yeah.
You fucked some shit up.
Bro, it didn't even last a week.
I don't know who
See,
keeps
that's the
texting
thing,
me.
bro. I working for an owner operator. I thought I was getting off.
I didn't look at the He put his
I thought that we were
Yeah,
supposed
get
to.
out of here.
Oh, and Ryan, I'm gonna charge
Beat
you up after this in a minute about some shit.
Man, fuck leave.
No, I'm gonna charge him up because if I don't say what I gotta say,
Say it.
No.
Just say it on the mic.
No.
the reason why I'm not gonna say it is because
On air. Content.
I'm not gonna say it on here. Let's just go to the side.
Nah, we need that
No,
content.
no, because if I say it,
That's why I
then
feel we really do.
it's gonna be some. I'm trying to change it. No,
Oh, so
because,
you gonna
Well, let
cut?
us say it. 'Cause I gotta go.
oh, you gotta go?
Yeah, we
I'm
finna
gonna
go.
write you. What?
Why not just say it?
I'm not gonna say it on mic.
That's
Alright,
He wants
next.
Okay,
Dan
cool.
Dash Kanye West.
I'm gonna tell you.
Who?
Okay,
Dan Dash
so,
Kanye West.
What about him? What they doing? They making a movie?
Nah, they about to click up. They about to click up. Let me go. Let me back.
Why Kanye look so nonchalant though?
I don't
what?
know, bro. Just some new project they got. I don't know really about it. What?
Bro, honestly, Dame Dash is the one who brought Kanye to Rockefeller.
Yeah.
So they've been cool for a minute. So for them to do something, it's not really nothing. And then people be saying, Jay and them not even beefing no more. They just, you know what I'm saying? You know how when you have a friend and y'all start beefing, and y'all just can't get back to where y'all was, but y'all still just stay at a distance.
It's still civil until something really works out.
Yeah, so that's what I heard their situation is right now. But it be looking crazy, bro. I'm ready for the old Ye to come back, bro. It's never gonna come back.
So, we just about to do some new shit, just, stick together culturally, take over the world.
Look at that. He looks psycho, bro.
He looks weird, bro.
He looks psycho, fam.
And he did like a little smug.
It's like he be on.
He said he was super famous.
That's how he was when he was on Family Feud. Like I follow Kim on Snapchat.
Yeah.
And like she put him on the camera. That's just how he is when he on camera, bro. He awkward.
Weird.
Yeah, I don't know why he awkward like
I
that.
think he did it on purpose.
I think so too. That's what I was saying too. I think he do it on purpose, like he modeling or something. I don't know. It's weird. Like when he was on, where was he on? Ellen.
It just
Did y'all see that on Ellen, bro?
You know what it is?
What?
To get us to do what we're doing right now.
Talk about it.
Yeah.
Talk about that situation.
All right. Well, we got our guests coming in. I'm gonna check out so we can make space. It's cute. I'm gonna be right back as soon as our guest is gone. Don't forget about me. And the gym will be more kicked in.
Yeah, the Tito's is gonna be big. Hey, I hope yeah, man, it's your boy Kid Jack. Man, let me get y'all introduced to the I ain't gonna know.
Frog is stupid.
Yeah, I forgot her name. Sorry. But
I didn't know she was in that chair.
oh yeah, her name is Miss Frida Porter.
So whose cup is on the floor? Because it's big chilling, but you know what? It's empty.
She's running for office of judge and something.
I said,
You really gonna learn all that here in a second when she come back in. So it's live. Yeah.
Look at y'all having a good time up in here. Hi, you
How
guys.
you doing?
I'm Rita Porter. I even wore my t-shirt so you wouldn't forget. Hi. Nice to meet you.
What are you going for?
I'm running for Justice of the Peace, Precinct 7. Precinct 7. That's
This
Dan.
I'm sorry, I
She
don't know.
gonna explain all that. Let's say that. You can sit right over here.
Okay.
Well, matter of fact, you can sit right here. And,
Beautiful baby.
She's mine.
She's
She didn't want to go to her friend's house. She wanted to be with mommy. So
Okay.
I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just, I'm gonna let her come with mommy.
So this is actually on the internet.
Yes.
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 Live podcast.
Okay,
So
well, let me pass out my little
yes,
my little
ma'am,
flyers
Get
so
those
that
around.
y'all can kind of get educated on just a little something, so you know
Okay.
about me.
I promote
guess that
any woman, honestly.
Oh,
I'm all
thank
for
you.
women's rights, all that. I
Thank
promote
you.
any woman.
For those that are tuned in, we have a very special guest right now. We have Miss Frida Porter with us. She is currently running for Justice of the Peace for Precinct 7 in Tarrant County.
That's right. Thank you so much,
Yes, ma'am.
Jonathan,
We appreciate
for
you coming
inviting
in.
me.
Most definitely.
Yes, I am running for Justice of the Peace,
Yes,
Precinct
ma'am.
7.
Awesome.
For those of you who don't know where Precinct 7 is and all the areas that it encompasses, that would be Tarrant, Grand Prairie,
Okay.
Okay.
Mansfield, South
Okay.
Arlington.
I'm here for it. I live in South Arlington.
You represent
I'm all
us
here
out
for it.
Okay, and Kennedale, Dalworthington Gardens,
Okay.
and Rendon. That's a big area on the map if y'all haven't looked that up.
Where's Rendon at?
Rendon is like going out 35.
Oh, right outside
Yeah,
of
yeah,
Mansfield.
on the, yeah,
Going towards Burleson.
Okay.
yeah, Burleson, that area, yeah.
Okay, so we very politically challenged up here. So we wanna make sure everybody understand. Explain the justice of the peace and your position in as far as what you'll be behind and what rules you'll pass and just about the office in general.
Okay, the Justice of the Peace is the People's Court,
Okay.
and it's an elected office.
Okay.
So the people elect the Justice of the Peace, and the Justice of the Peace. Some of the we're not a policy judge.
Okay.
We basically apply the law.
Right.
For some of the areas that we cover are truancy
Okay.
and landlord and tenant disputes and issues like
Okay.
evictions,
Right.
small claims, somebody owe you some money,
Okay.
you take them to court,
Okay.
up to $10,000. You come see the justice of the peace, come see me.
Okay. So where are you from, Miss Rita? You originally from here?
I am born and raised in Fort Worth. I
Funky
am
time.
a Eastern Hills Highlander.
Oh, okay. That's my man Part.
Oh, did you go to Eastern Hills?
Well, nah. Nah, he's from what, South Washington?
Oh, I see. Okay. Well, yeah, that's me. I was born and raised in Fort Worth, and I went to Eastern Hills High School.
Okay.
Mhm.
So we talked it up a little bit yesterday.
Yes, we did.
One of the things that really stood out about what we talked about was your realtor.
I am a realtor.
Yes, ma'am. Explain what made you start that and pursue that.
Well, before I was a realtor, I was an esthetician, and I went to Ogle School of Cosmetology.
Okay.
But I've always had an entrepreneur spirit. Matter of fact, my whole family, my siblings are entrepreneurs. We all own our businesses. We don't work for anybody. So,
And that's us up there. That's what we all.
that's
why
I applaud entrepreneurs.
So you nail.
No, I don't do nails. An esthetician focuses on skincare
Okay.
and makeup.
Okay.
So when I finished with Ogles, I established a business called Fabulous Faces by Frida.
Okay.
And I trained makeup artists, and we contracted our labor out to large cosmetic companies doing events. So like if there was a lunch like Iman Cosmetics or Elizabeth Arden and a local department store was having an event and they wanted to push the product, we would make up people and sell the product. Okay. And so from there, from being a makeup artist, I decided, hey, I want to go into real estate. A friend encouraged me to go into real estate, and that was how I got into real estate.
Okay.
And then I established Dreamcatchers Realty.
Right. Now, how did you get so successful with real estate? Because I heard it's really taking a plunge right now.
Well, it did take a plunge.
Yeah.
Well, when I got into real estate, I mean, the money was coming.
Yeah.
It was coming.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought it was a big movement. I was like, the black people got okay,
Right.
Because I was selling, houses so fast. But what no one educated me on was that ever so often, after so many years, the market will fall.
Okay.
And so, but yes, I was very successful, and I'm successful now. I don't sell the volume that I did before the market fell, but I still sell. I just sold a house a week ago in Midlothian. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Midlothian is everything is booming and moving south.
Yeah.
So I have a question.
Yes.
Okay, so how did you get into the real estate? Because I always thought about it.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's a lot of things I want to do.
Yes.
I just haven't done them.
You should do them all.
But how did you get into real estate? Oh, trust me, I am. Because if I don't got me, who got me?
Okay. And the thing about real estate and being an entrepreneur for me, I had children that were in school. My husband worked, but I needed to help him support the family.
Right.
And at the same time, be a mom and be a wife. So being an entrepreneur, you can set your own hours. As a makeup artist, I would work on the weekends and I would do makeup for commercials, for weddings. And then as a real estate agent, hey, you just make your own hours that's conducive to your family.
Right.
So to answer your question, the building that you're in, George Leonard School of Real Estate, was in this building.
Oh, so it was.
It was in this building. And so I went to school here. I went to school here. Now it's up off of Randall. No, is that Six Flags? It's north,
Okay.
and it's called Hawes. I think Hawes School of Real Estate now.
Right.
Okay.
That'll work.
Yes.
Not to get into your age and none of that, you're not supposed to ask the woman that, but I do want to know, like, how old were you when you actually started to entrepreneurship? Like,
Oh, I was in my 20s. I was in my 20s, yes. And I mean, just one thing led to another. You know, when you step out on faith and you become successful, it gives you the energy and the gusto to try something new.
Right.
You know, and when you say
stepping out on faith, it's a big step you gotta make.
But let me tell you, faith without works is dead.
Right.
So you can't sit at home eating donuts and saying all the things you want to be, and you don't put no action behind it. And the thing about having a family, if you hungry enough, you're gonna be successful.
Right.
You know, you have to have aspirations, and I had aspirations to want to be better. And so that's what's gonna fuel you when you have your children, or even if you don't have children.
Seeing them kids.
Young people need to decide, okay, what do I want for myself? How do I want to live? What type of lifestyle I want? Do I want to live well? Do I want to struggle? And the decisions that you make will determine that for you.
Yeah, but it's not just gonna come to you.
So I went to fast track school.
Fast track.
Fast track school. Fast track, you need 180 hours to take the state exam, to go to pass the state exam, the real estate exam.
Is it pricey?
And so, no, actually it's not. To some people it might, but it wasn't to me. And so I did, each class was 30 hours.
Okay.
So I would go on the weekend. Yeah, it's 30 hours, 10-hour days, 3 10-hour days. Bam, there was a class. And just continue to do that. So you get 180 hours.
Okay, now explain your views on because we was talking about trade school too, and how you thought. Explain your views on that as far as kids making the decision to, probably steer away from college if it's not for them.
Yeah.
And just go ahead and get into a trade. Because I'm behind that 1,000%. Sometimes I feel like in certain situations, college can, if somebody's not really prepared for college, it can throw them off.
Yes.
By a landslide.
Yes.
So just explain your views on that and how you feel about that.
Well, let me say that anytime that you can educate yourself or get a higher education, it's a plus to you. Any education that you add to yourself is a benefit. My visions for the truants in Precinct 7 is success plans. Just like with special education kids, kids that are MAC kids. When I say MAC kids, these kids have disabilities, maybe physical disabilities that, like asthma, that will keep them from going to school. So there has to, if they're a MAC kid, they have to be, everyone that is involved with that child has to meet at the table and come up with a success plan. Maybe it is to modify or to accommodate their studies. Meaning, if they have a test in English that has 150 questions,
right?
Okay, well, MAC will require the teacher, because the child has been out sick, to accommodate their child by slashing some of those questions. He still get exposed, or she still get exposed to the same studies, to the same curriculum,
right.
But they're mainstream and they still pass the class. Now, to answer your question, my vision for the truants in Precinct 7 is success plans. For the ones who are old enough to test out, maybe test out, take their GED test. But before they get out of school, they have to take a skilled labor training class in a profession where they can be successful and be able to support themselves.
Right.
So they will have to make a decision about that.
I'm with that 1,000%. Because a lot of times, you know, we just so programmed, we think, okay,
There's only one way.
option, you
Yes.
know?
Mhm.
So, you know, giving that to a lot of people early, you can change a lot of people's lives, a lot of kids' lives by just informing them of that at an early age. Because honestly, when I was coming up, when we was coming up, all we thought of was college. You know,
College.
I'll probably be on college.
Right.
Maybe.
But everybody's not going to go to college.
Right.
And everybody is not cut out for high school.
Right.
You know, there are some kids up to 21 in high school.
Right.
And I think at some point, I don't know exactly what affects certain children where they cannot succeed, but I think that it's up to us as a community to come together and give them the success plan that they need to help guide them. The truancy issue now is more about, as far as the Justice of the Peace Court, is more about generating revenue.
Right.
Revenue with fines, you know, for the courts and for the county. But you have to remember that these are young lives.
Right.
And there is no truer statement than our children are our future.
Right.
So if you truly believe that, then we have to have a success plan. We have to mold them. We have to guide them. And we have to show the ones that are struggling another way, because they can be successful. And the thing about success, it will help you plateau to the next plateau. It helps you go to the next level. When you're feeling successful and you're feeling that you've accomplished something, then the next thing you know, you're thinking about other avenues.
Right.
You're thinking about other things. Your gifts can make you money.
Right.
So they need to know, how can we turn your gift and your interest into money?
The almighty dollar.
Yes.
I have a question. So do you think that, like, you're ever too old to go back to school?
No.
I mean, I'm just asking because I'm going back in August because honestly, I want to be a lawyer.
Oh,
But I'm 27, so it's like, I know it's a lot that I have to go through.
Yes.
So it's like, like some people be like, well, you know what I'm saying, why do you want to go now? Like, you're 27. I mean, I've been before I haven't finished, but that's what I honestly want to do. Like,
Don't do it.
that's what I want to do, but it's like every time I go back and I get, you know what I'm saying? I get back into it. It's like something happened to where it's like I can't finish, but I guess I gotta be mind strong.
Yes.
That's all it is.
Yes.
Because that's what I want to do. Because I feel like I can't work for somebody forever. Like, me, honestly, I want to own multiple law firms. Like, that's what I want to do. Like, I'm trying to.
You gotta get
That's what I'm trying to do. That's why when I go back in August, I'm
on it.
Like,
you're never too old.
But it's just hard.
And sometimes it is hard, but something that's worthwhile is never easy.
Yeah.
When money come fast, you usually spend it all. But when you earn your money and you sacrifice for it, you know, you're gonna value what you had to do, you know, to get your education and to make your money. So it's never too late.
Right.
I have my uncle, my mother's brother. My mother's family was sharecroppers.
Okay.
And he was an old man when he got his GED. And matter of fact, Grand Prairie wrote an article up when he got his GED, because that always bothered him, that he couldn't read and that he didn't have his high school diploma.
Okay.
So you're never too old to be successful.
And I bet he cherished it even more.
Oh yes, he did. He did, and we all cherish it,
Right.
because when one of us make it, all of us make it. You know, children will look at you, your nieces and your nephew, and be like, "Hey, Uncle Jonathan did this. I can do it." Because you never know what their interest is. So if you have all of these examples of success, in the family, then they know that failure is not an option.
Okay.
Yes.
And with that, I do have a question. Like a lot of the times, like being younger and seeing like a lot of successful older people in your family, you don't really see the struggle that they went through.
That's right.
So, like, with that being said, what was it that like kept you going? Like whenever you hit a rut, because I know everything wasn't smooth. You hit ruts and stuff. So, like whenever you hit those speed bumps, what was it that kept you motivated to keep on grinding and keep doing what you were doing?
Well, for me, I grew up in Stop 6. Y'all know what Stop 6 is?
Yeah, that's where my mother's side of the family is from.
Look here.
See if y'all know, because it's funny. Every time somebody from Fort Worth, every time I meet somebody from Fort Worth, he knows somebody or they know his side of the family.
Well, my mother's side of the family, we from the creek, off the Coretta.
Okay, we lived, when I graduated from Eastern Hills, we lived on Vale Drive. So Carruthers, and then that little street right when you go on down, that was Vale Drive.
Yeah, I know what
My grandfather lived on Truman Drive.
Truman, okay. We're the Devos. That's one.
The who?
Devos.
The Devos.
Yeah. They went to all of my uncles, well, my mother's, like my grandma, they went to Dunbar, but my mother and like her cousins and stuff, they graduated from ODY. They ended up moving to Fort Worth.
I'm not familiar with you guys, but I mean, you know, in the creek, if you say the creek, you know, you automatically family. Yeah. If you say Stop 6 or Funky Town, you automatically family. You know, that's my hood. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, what motivated me to answer your question is my mother raised 6 kids, 4 boys and 2 girls. I'm the 5th child. And she was just always like, you know, get an education. Right. I want you to be successful. And she worked really, really hard. And growing up with that, you know, I always wanted to be better. Sometimes I made mistakes just like other people do, you know, because you can imagine being the only girl after 4 hard heads. Oh, it was some fights. Right. Okay. I had to stand up. I wasn't up but a little switch, but I had to stand up for myself. Yeah. But I always had a drive to want to live better and to be better. Right. And there is absolutely nothing wrong with that. So if one profession didn't work, if it wasn't cutting it, then I tried something else. I'd go to night school if I had to. Okay. And so, you know, you might not be degreed, but that don't keep you from being educated.
Now, you're successful with the real estate. What makes you want to get into the justice and the peace? What something had to strike you on that?
Yes.
Yeah, what was that?
Barack Obama.
Barack?
Yes.
Yeah, so that was your
President Barack Obama inspired me. And like he inspired a lot of us.
Right.
When I looked up and I saw a black man running for office, I wanted to be a part of that. Right. So I became like a precinct chair for my area. I worked to get out the vote. I passed out flyers. I did what I had to do to try to help that cause along. Now, unfortunately, in Precinct 7, I don't know if you guys know, Tarrant County is a red county. Yeah. Yes. And Precinct 7 is a red precinct.
That's what I heard. See, I'm surprised that any other places is anything black, because isn't Texas in general a red state?
Well, Dallas County is blue.
Yeah, see, that's what I was surprised with.
You want me to explain red?
Red, that's Republican.
That's Republican. And my thing is now is that after you've seen our president, if you're not inspired to get out and vote, what's the matter with you? Right. Yeah. We have to turn that around. We should be going to the polls in droves. Okay? Because who is going to bear the brunt of the Republican policies? Right. It's going to be the black and the brown people.
Now, while we right there, explain why it's so important. Because, like how you say, people are barely even voting for presidency. Explain why it's so important to get out there and vote for offices
In
like
midterms,
yours.
yes, yes.
Like,
This is midterm election, okay? And in midterm election, these are local, these are county races. These are offices that affect your daily lives, okay? So each office supports the other office.
Right.
So say like, even though justice of the peace is at the bottom of the ballot,
Right.
okay, if you vote Democrat, then the county clerk, each position is going to support each position.
Nice.
You see what I'm saying? So if you split the ticket, you say, well, you know, I don't never vote straight Democrat.
Right.
I just go with whoever I like.
Right.
Well, that's what happened with our president, Barack Obama. You put a Democratic president in bed with the enemy.
Right.
How was he going to pass his policies with a Republican House, a Republican Congress? You have to be educated on how you vote. You have to be consistent in how you vote, and you have to be cohesive up and down that ticket, or else policies are not going to get passed. Do y'all know that in Tarrant County, most of the judges are Republicans? The ones that when people go before they committed offenses or that are responsible for handing out time, they're Republicans.
Okay, and to piggyback off of that, I think a lot of felons get it misconstrued as so they can't vote.
Yes, they
that's
do.
that's what we get told a lot. Cause I am a convicted felon. So like that was one of the. I remember being in a class and that was one of the things they told us that we wouldn't be allowed to do. But now that I'm out here, people are telling me that I can. But so like just to clear that up, if it is any felons watching, like how do we get over it?
Well, if you're not on paper, okay, if you're not on paper, meaning on parole, or once you're off there, you can vote. You can vote, and all of that is to oppress the vote. Right. It's to keep us down. You know what I mean? So you have to utilize your vote. So if you offer parole or whatever, you need to vote. You need to register to vote.
And I'm glad that I heard that from somebody that's actually in office. I'm
not in office yet, but y'all gonna put me in office.
Right. Okay. But I have a question about that. Do you honestly think that our votes count?
The thing, yes, I do, to answer your question. There are people that have died for this right to vote. Mm-hmm. And especially for us, if for no other reason, the high price that they paid for us to have the right to vote. And behind us was women. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Women haven't always been able to vote. So you need to utilize your vote, no matter what's done that is crooked to upset your vote does count.
I mean, I always vote regardless.
Yeah.
Like, I always do.
But that's a good question because, when Trump ran, a lot of young people protested, and then some of them voted for him out of protest because they felt like Barack Obama did not do enough to help his own people.
But he did though.
But see, that's what really like.
And there been protests over Hillary too, because that 3 strikes law, it came down through the the Clintons.
Right.
Yes, but you see what that protest did for us.
Right. Exactly. And see, really, truth be told, that's really where I was like, okay, this voting really matters because mostly everybody I know didn't vote just because who was running.
I did. Who were the candidates? I just didn't want Trump, but
but like a lot of people didn't because nobody really liked Hillary or Trump. So a lot of people passed, and I think just the fact that people didn't vote at all, that's what got Trump in it.
Yes.
Because you know what I'm saying, basically
Yes.
for the racists, or so to speak, that was like they Obama. You know what I'm saying? Trump was like they Obama for us. Like how we all went and rushed for polls. For Obama, they all went and rushed for Trump.
But Hillary was still full of it. It was like,
I mean, but
like
which
a
one?
lose situation regardless.
I wouldn't say that, bro.
Well, you know,
she ain't on no Trump.
Trump supports the rich. So it's like, if you're not rich,
not only does he support the rich, he's a racist. He's a racist. He's a racist president. And not only that, although he has a degree, he's ignorant. He's ignorant. He is illiterate. He's ill-spoken. He's not. I mean, he's a poor representation of what that office is supposed to be. It used to be dignified. We all used to look up to it. Now we're just all embarrassed. We need to be set free of him. And the only way to do that is to do what? Vote Democrat.
Exactly.
Okay.
But you know, they don't want a woman in the office.
It's gonna happen.
I mean, honestly, okay, it's like I'm all for a woman being a president, but Hillary, she wasn't real. Like she wasn't. I feel like everything
she didn't
was
relate
saying,
to the people.
Like it's like she was just, to me, like she was. I thought it was a lose-lose. Like, even if she was even young, people would have been happy because she's a woman. Well, women would have been happy. But at the same time, like, the stuff she was saying, it wasn't real. Like, she was stealing stuff that Michelle was saying. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, she wasn't being real.
That was Donald Trump. People.
Well, let me ask you.
He was stealing people's speeches and everything.
Let me ask
you
this. Now that we know what we have and who we have, would you have preferred Hillary over Trump?
Yes.
That's what I'm saying.
He is true. It's like the first time he was in office, he was trying to stop people from coming back from other countries that live
that's
here.
A no-brainer.
Like, he was tripping. And then how you gonna expect some Mexicans to build a wall themselves?
And then pay for it.
Like,
I mean, you know, we're all immigrants in this land.
But and then to me, like, I don't have anything against them because I feel like they make it better. Like, when it comes to a lot of things, like, they don't have no problem getting out there and working.
Look here, anytime you have diversity, it's gonna be better. Okay? Diversity is the spice of life. You know what I'm saying? So, but there's a saying, the devil you know is better than the devil you don't know. So when you had Trump and you had Hillary, everybody should have went with Hillary because she was willing to go back and change that 3-strike law. She was willing to go back and right the wrongs that had been done. But I also think that our system was violated by the Russians. And I do believe that our president has something to do with it.
You think he'll get impeached?
You know, this is my thing about Trump getting impeached. Trump is a Republican, and the Republicans are running the White House.
Right.
Are you going to impeach your boy? That party does not want that stain on their party. They're not going to impeach Trump. You're going to have to vote Trump out of office. I mean, he's done enough. I mean, just the fact that he's a liar.
Yeah.
I mean, your president, you should be able to trust what your president say.
Right.
That alone is an impeachable offense to me.
Right.
You know, you're a liar. You're dishonest. And the thing about us as African Americans, when we want to excel and we want to rise, they want us to be all that we can be. Right. You see how President Obama went into the White House and, you know, he didn't clap back at people that was attacking him, but as it got close, he kind of stood up, didn't he? Right. And he started walking different. He became more himself. Right. Okay. But they knew that he had to act a certain way so that certain people, racist people, would not feel threatened by him. Right. Why does it have to be that way? But you got an idiot up in the White House as our commander in chief.
And it's like,
honestly, and that's why I feel as though that's how the system basically plays us, because I mean, to have for us to actually be able to be allowed to see Barack in the office. Yeah. Then you turn around and allow a clown to win like that.
A clown.
It's just to like
discredit.
It's to discredit. It's to discredit. To me, it's to discredit everything that basically we went through to get to that point.
But at the same,
it's almost like showing us that it don't matter who it is.
Right. Yeah. In a way, but at the same time, bro, I feel like more people should have voted. Just how everybody was behind.
You can say that, but
a lot of people did vote. They just cheated to get them in.
That's what I'm saying.
They
I feel like that. Like
they had plotted and planned that long before.
I really feel like it's a. They look at it as a joke to us, bro. Like they basically tell us, like, all right, yeah, y'all can vote and do all of that, and it's still like in the background. It's pieces that everybody not seeing. Like we don't get to see all of that. They don't actually show the votes coming in.
Yeah.
Like they don't show people how they calculate the votes. Like all we see is the board.
Right.
How we know they didn't make those numbers like that?
Nah, that's what they're trying to say now with the Russians. Like Russians definitely
okay right now. But in a sense, like how?
Yeah.
How do you blindside you with Trump? A whole nation get blindsided.
Right.
A whole nation. I'm seeing it. Everybody is riding with Hillary Clinton, but Trump get elected.
But you know, I believe the FBI knew all along. I mean, that was something that was set in place because you see Trump Jr., they have records of him, you know, at luncheons long before the election. Right. They was laying that foundation long before the election.
And Trump had don't quote me on it. You can Google it, but Trump had an interview. He was on some like JM or something.
Back in the day, right?
Back in the day, like '93. He basically said that one day he could run for president, and he would win.
Yeah, I seen that.
And they asked him why would he win? He was like, because America's stupid.
Right. And then another thing too is Trump is like pleasing to the eye. You know, like I mean, like as far as
look at me making the face.
Now, what I mean is like
pleasing word.
Pleasing as far as like to the public. You know what I'm saying? Entertaining, so to speak. That's
a joke.
I think that was another way how he got in office. He was able to like sort of entertain.
He fired him being a celebrity.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? He just know how to get people attention.
But see, here's the thing.
It's not about him though, bro. It's about
the country.
About the actual government. It's our country, bro.
Yeah.
Everything that like it's really a lot of falsified things.
I think the fascination with him is worn out because you know it's like if you go to the circus, the clowns are only funny for so long.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then reality set in, it's time for you to go home. Yeah. And people, just like the school shooting, why aren't we protecting our kids?
Right.
Why aren't you making policies to keep these guns out of these kids' hands?
Right.
Okay? So he's no longer funny. He's no longer entertaining. Yeah. Everybody should be over it. And this is why everybody needs to go to the polls. They need to vote early, and then election day is March 6th. Right. You need to be mindful not to.
March 6th.
That's right.
You gotta get everybody in there. Also, Ms. Porter. So, what separates you? Now, we ain't gonna speak on who you running against. We ain't gonna get them.
No, we don't advertise.
Yeah, we ain't gonna get them no pub. But what separates you from your running mates, or as we say, the ops?
Well, by me being a realtor, I've represented landlords. Plus, I've been a landlord.
Right.
And in dealing with landlord and tenant issues, I've had filings in the Justice of the Peace Court. Plus, I've observed the Justice of the Peace Court as far back as 2010. Okay. Judge Davis's court in North Arlington, Lisa Woodard's court in Precinct 8 over in, she's in Fort Worth, Miller Street. You know where Miller Street is? The courthouse in Middle Street?
Nah, I don't.
Where's the hood? It's the east side.
Yeah.
Okay, so I've observed her deposition of her cases. So when it comes to my experience as a realtor, and also I've also been a substitute teacher for Fort Worth ISD. So I've worked with students. So I have more experience in the areas of justice of the peace than my opponents.
Okay.
One of my opponents have ran for everything. From
So
Congress, he just trying to get a job.
Yeah.
I don't even know what he do.
Right.
Okay, he just trying to get him a job.
Right.
And then the other opponent, I don't know who he is.
Okay.
Nobody knows who he is.
He just coming out.
You know,
Corrupt the system.
you said it, I didn't. You know what I'm saying? If you look up Tarrant County votes, he said something about he ran to stop wolf packs. You know, political packs.
We really look like that.
You know, political packs. You know, and so I'm like, what about the
He's
issues?
definitely not getting our vote.
Right.
Okay, so what about the issues that affect Precinct 7? I'll tell you this: the incumbent is Republican,
Right.
and when the law came about where same-sex people could marry, gay people could marry,
Right.
he just stopped performing marriages. How do you present yourself to a community and say, and take public office and say, I'm going to represent the community as a whole,
Right.
and you basically don't serve as part of the community?
Right.
How do you do that? And then the truancy issue.
Right.
The truancy issue, it has to be handled.
Yeah, that's big. Right.
That is huge.
That's big.
So I'm looking to represent everybody in Precinct 7. I want my office to be a resource for everyone, you know, and especially the troubled areas. So vote for experience. Vote for me. Vote for Frida Porter.
Miss Frida Porter, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, let's clap it up for her. Hey.
Thank you for having me. I have enjoyed you guys.
Appreciate you.
I've enjoyed you so much.
As I told you coming up, I'm shocked that you came. Like, I was not expecting.
Yeah, they didn't think I was gonna come, you know. They thought the rain and the fog was gonna stop me because I'm older than they are.
Nah, that show you out here trying to get it. I tried to see you yesterday. You was here today, short notice.
Yes,
We
yes.
appreciate you.
You guys, I'm so proud of you guys.
Thank you.
I want y'all's podcast to go mainstream.
Yes, ma'am.
You know, I'm expecting great things from you guys.
Yes, ma'am.
And so, you know, y'all put me up, I'm put you up.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Well, I need your information freely.
Okay, all right. Well, listen, I hope to stop in and talk to you after I win the primary. And do y'all know about
March
that?
6th.
March 6th is the primary. But there's two votes. There's two votes. The primary is the party election. Y'all understand that?
Nah.
The primary,
The party is
Democrat, Republican, that's for to decide who's going to represent those parties.
Okay.
I'm on the Democratic ticket.
Right.
Okay,
So that's March 6th.
that's March 6th.
Gotcha.
Now, whoever wins the primary goes on to the general election. And that's when the opponent is Democrat and Republican.
Okay.
So in November, I need you to come back. I'm coming back to see y'all.
Oh,
Yeah, do that. Come back. You know, you're welcome anytime here at the Social Hustlers podcast, baby.
And y'all
Let's
can
go.
look me up on Facebook.
Yes, everybody go follow Miss Frida Porter
Yes.
right now. Go do
Yes,
it.
thank you. Thank you
We
so
gotta
much,
get her in there.
guys.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you so
Thank you.
much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Why are you
Okay,
leaving?
I am getting ready to go.
Need that information.
What is this water here?
Oh, it's coming.
I didn't do it.
Oh, it's coming from the cup. Okay.
What are we talking about? If you were tuned in, you would know. Why am I on this? How do I get this on?
I'm gonna, let me see.
Why do I keep ending live videos? I'm not even trying to. I'm just trying to get this off of here. Okay, yeah. And it's Frida Porter.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, your name right here.
Hey, Miss Porter, you got some extra copies we can
I sure do. Let's go this way. Okay. You are beautiful.
Say thank
You
you.
remind me of my granddaughter. Hey, it was a pleasure talking to you. And I want y'all to come and see
Thank you
me.
for coming.
And when I get sworn in, I want y'all to be there.
Oh, we will.
I
We
do.
will.
Because we got to have ambassadors of the court to influence the young people.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes. And, you know, you can come and tell them the hard is what's up.
Just at the
Okay,
store.
so that's
You
what
know,
that's
eat
what
as soon as we leave, because you just ate before we came back. I was telling my ex right here and said, open your eyes, we can tell you fucked up. Like, I didn't even know he was watching my shit. He said, open your eyes, we can tell you fucked up.
I'm trying to keep my surprise.
Damn, I'm alive. I didn't even say that. I'm not alive. Am I still alive? If I'm alive, hey, speak up. So I'm gonna need Jason now. I'm y'all female co-host.
I think we did good. The fuck out of
Hey, cause head COVID.
Quick hits coming up next, y'all. Quick hits coming up
Did you
next.
answer?
shit.
Intermission.
Hey, baby. What you doing this weekend? We linking up? I mean, we can do something with the kids. It doesn't matter. I'm cool with that. I don't know where the hell you walked up to, but I just tried to talk to you. Hey, cutie. He's so cute. He's just smiling. He's fine as you got a little crush. Nigga, that's a season twin. Where the other twin at? Which is which? I can't tell that one. Reagan. The attitude. Should have known. Where's Lil Fast at? Where's she at? Well, this weekend for sure. We gonna link up though, for real. Huh?
Hey, real talk. Hey,
I'm
hey.
gonna tell him. I don't know where he went though. I'm
Where
gonna
you
find him. Where what? I'm about to find his.
Georgia.
Yeah, where he go?
I don't know. That nigga,
He walked off. You want me to tell him to FaceTime
hey,
you back when he
please
get
don't do my
back?
drink.
You want me to tell him to FaceTime you back when he get back? All right.
Oh.
So
Alright, come on, cut this shit
Is it
out.
official or no?
Hey, you and this goddamn phone, nigga.
I'm trying to get it together.
Nah, you cheating.
So is it
You was
official?
asking some real ass questions.
But is it official?
Man,
But it gotta go through him, right?
Nah, I gotta go through the team,
The
man.
thing Giorgio too with.
Yeah, I know George was cool. Hey, come on, let's get to it, man.
Anyways, everybody's basically cool with it, so just go
Hey,
ahead and face my
hey,
side.
relax.
Go ahead and say I got the
Relax.
Keith, are you not for it?
Just
Are you for it?
Hey,
just chill.
Are you
We
for
got
it?
some things we gonna fix it.
Hey, we ain't even got into topics yet, man. Let's get to the topic.
Tell him that you all for me being a female co-host.
Hey, look. Where the hell is Q and Ron T at?
It don't matter. Hey, we killed them.
Hey, we did.
Where the hell
Hey,
did Ronnie
Bose.
go?
Hey,
Bose, man. Bose is my guy. I swear to God, universal.
No, Ronnie
But
came in.
they can set us anywhere in the world. We gonna take care of business.
And Ryan
You
is
gonna
leave
vote.
is what I'm figuring out. He came and left.
Who?
Ryan,
Oh, nah.
He had to leave.
He's stinking. I told him,
Like-
come here stinking.
like
Yes.
hygiene. Oh shit, I'm on.
Nah, he was smelling like gay.
Oh shit, my finger. But last time
Man, if I
I was,
hear that phone clack one
Last
more
time I
time,
was-
I'ma lose it.
last time I was.
Hey, yo, what's up? So, that was Miss Frida Porter once again. Y'all make sure y'all get her in
I'm
office,
seeing a
man.
bag over there with some liquor.
We gotta support.
Where it
Look.
Just-
All right, so let's get on these topics, man. We got a little bit of time left. All right, so who did y'all say? With what family?
Oh, what families would y'all want to see? Did y'all think anything?
Oh, I said Swiss Beats and
Our family.
That would be
Oh,
dope.
what?
Yeah.
Family Feud?
Family
Yeah.
Feud. What family?
Me.
Like what celebrity family? Everybody.
Like Beyonce and Jay-Z. I think that would be lit.
That'd be dope. The Carters.
And like Kevin
Hold up, the
Hart.
Carters versus who?
Kevin Hart.
The Carters. Nah, we got to do
What
better
about
than
Kevin
that.
Hart? Kevin Hart funny.
Oh,
They should do like the comedians. No, y'all not doing that.
Let's see,
Nah.
let's see, let's see.
Because it would be
Who
funny.
versus the Carters?
And all the beats with nobody else.
You gotta put the Kardashians.
Hey,
Yeah.
Do it.
Gabrielle
That'd be
Union and
It's
Dwayne.
already a few
Gabrielle
that
Because Gabrielle Union got that
Ain't
role.
nobody trying to see Gabrielle Union do nothing.
with her.
We talking about
with her
Powerhouse Family.
I didn't see you to me.
No,
What?
send it to me.
When Gabrielle Union was checking out
McGee.
remember Wade getting interviewed and she in the background.
Oh yeah.
Oh, so she was
God.
doing what niggas do.
For
Oh,
real?
Here she goes.
so
Here
you
she
mad at her
go.
for doing what niggas
Okay,
do?
well he married. So what if he's not doing
A
it?
lot
How
of
do you
people,
know
but
if
a
he's
lot of
doing
people
it?
don't take marriage seriously nowadays. Let's be real. It's not like back in the day though.
I can definitely see them in an open marriage though.
Who?
Yeah, I can.
Oh,
You
D-Wade,
see who?
yeah. D-Wade,
Gabrielle
Gabrielle.
Union, D-Wade.
Gabrielle Union a little snappy. I don't
Yeah,
think
nah, I'm
she'll be
saying-
with it.
That's
No.
why she is with.
Exactly,
But
because she a big old
Jada
freak.
and Will,
Yeah,
they would be
that-
Oh, that see,
Jada
that's
and
it.
Will.
The Will, the
Because they
Smiths
whole family
Versus
is
the
weird.
Carters.
the Smiths
They
versus
whole
the Carters.
family.
There we
I got a
go.
question.
We gotta get that. We gotta put that into the universe.
Y'all been people will been posting more and more like motivational things.
Yeah, that's
He
how
just
been
got on
doing.
Instagram.
Yeah,
That's
just
it.
got
He
Instagram.
just got an Instagram.
Okay, but
And ever since then, you've been seeing his
Well,
stuff.
you
That's
think-
just him.
But is he hurting?
Nah, that's him, bro. Why you think his kids so weird, bro?
They weird
That-
as hell.
like, that's Will
They
Smith.
performed this weekend at
Yeah,
the Badu.
the Badu concert.
I'm sick of it.
Shout out to that. Yeah, I
Yeah,
had
we
that.
love perform.
I forgot all about that too, bro. She was out in the D. That's cold.
Happy birthday.
All right, look, let's keep moving
Hey,
on these
bro, there's a
topics.
lot of birthdays.
Hey, somebody hit Q, man. Tell Q and Ron T to come back.
There's a lot of birthdays this past week.
Because I just now.
Hey, look, hey, y'all heard about the I thought this was cool. They making a movie, right, about the story of the hot Cheetos.
Yeah.
I was just wondering what you meant when you sent that to me.
It's
Yeah,
the
they
dude
make-
that made hot Cheetos. He was a janitor
He
in
was
a
a janitor.
hot Cheetos
And
factory.
he
Speaking of
look,
hot Cheetos.
look, hold up, let me tell you the story. He was a janitor in the Cheeto factory. At the factory, they had some Cheetos with no cheese that they would just basically throw away and shit. He took the Cheetos,
It would
hot sauce on them at the crib, and then that's how he came up with the hot Cheetos. How real is that, bro?
okay.
And he black.
Yeah.
But you know what they should bring back? The little asteroids.
Alright,
Asteroids is that what they call it? They came in a little package. The little hot Cheetos. Y'all older than me. Y'all know the hot Cheetos that came in a little package. When they was doing that back then when we was kids, they was circles. They was little circles. They're like little balls. I know y'all know what I'm talking
Not
about.
John Jay.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know what
I'm
you're
talking
talking
about.
about.
Again.
Them, okay, the hot Cheetos asteroids that they had came out with, they did it with
You
like
know
a
what
lot
she
of
talking about,
different
bro?
chips. They came in
Nah,
like a
it was when
little
we was young.
plastic container.
Oh,
You
what you
pop it
talking
off.
about?
You gotta rip open the foil.
The pops. I remember
But
they
they
were like
called
puffs.
asteroids though. Yeah, those.
Yeah.
Y'all don't think that they should bring those back? They were like the shit.
They were like,
I
look,
got
bro.
Google it.
Nah, they came in like a little container that popped at the top. They were like puffy hot. They were like puffy hot Cheetos.
But bro, did you hear the story I was saying about they making
Okay,
a movie
so
over the
it's
hot Cheetos
Oh, Bob.
and homeboy was
Slay.
black.
Okay, I'm sorry that I'm not. I'm a lot of.
He was black.
Talking to
He
anybody,
was a
but
janitor, right?
I'm just chilling. But if you just want to
He
watch
worked in the
podcast,
Cheeto
it's on my
factory.
show.
Hold on, finish that, Keith.
Oh, okay.
Hi.
A janitor at the Frito factory, bro, used to
Somebody look it
get
up.
old
I'm on my
Fritos
phone
and
right
take
now.
them home.
Georgia, let me see your
To his
phone.
family,
So I can
bro.
look it up.
And his family used to just go in and put hot sauce on.
Did you want to come back?
Hi, brother. What you mean look at me when I was little? Boy, I'm grown.
You said he used to take the old, like the Fritos that didn't have the cheese on them. They would throw away.
Georgia, the only reason I ain't gonna judge you is because it saved on my phone too when I'm leaving where it's at.
I have to get it next time. I should have been on there.
Yeah. He used to take them home.
The hot
And
Cheetos
put hot sauce on them.
No, not the flubs. The actual.
I guess he presented it to the company one day.
Tell me y'all remember these.
I see what to do this shit.
Y'all don't remember these?
I remember them.
Oh yeah,
That's what I'm saying.
They were like hot Cheeto puffs
Hey,
though.
where's the camera at? So I can show the camera. Because it was right here. Let me show the camera. Wait, hold on,
okay, we'll do that. I'm gonna do that. And what I do is
Right, y'all don't think they should bring these back? I don't know if y'all can see it, but y'all
so we
see
can get straight
right here.
to your part.
these. They really should. Y'all see it?
That'll be real.
If y'all don't
nice.
see it, oh well. I'm just trying to show you, but that's what I'm talking about. There you go.
Yes, ma'am. Most definitely. I'm gonna get that to you.
Oh, thank you for
Thank
calling
you.
me beautiful. Everybody that called me beautiful, thank you.
All right.
Why are you on
You
my
guys are over here
honestly,
lusting over your favorite
honestly, I don't know. I'm sorry. I apologize. We were actually
All right.
talking about.
Hey, yeah, but you heard the Cheeto story? It was lit, right?
Maya, you can't.
They making a movie on it.
It was a black guy that was
Black gentleman.
Use that.
He worked at the Cheetos place. They had like unfinished Cheetos that they would just throw away. He was taking them home, putting hot sauce on them. Came up with the idea for the hot Cheetos, bro. Mid stanky, filthy rich, bro.
nigga shit.
If that ain't some nigga shit, boy, hey, I don't know what is. Look, all right.
Hey,
But that's gonna be that movie gonna be lit.
Bro,
I'm
you
ready
see
for it.
white people trying to push do-rags? I see that on Facebook, bro. That was so.
Bro, that's not real.
Oh, it's real.
And got the nerve to call it something else.
Hey, we gotta get on this. We gotta get on this young boy, NBA young boy. We gotta talk about that.
Hilarious. Hey, me and Sabrina was fighting in the bed, bro. Like wrestling each other. I was trying to pull her out the bed.
Yeah.
And I was like, pull me out the bed. You know, like girl.
Yeah. And you was like, what?
I told her, I was like, pull me out the bed.
Bro, I gotta play this shit, bro. This nigga, they are crazy, man. Crazy.
Him and his girlfriend.
All right, so while I put,
She wanna make
yeah,
excuses for him.
bro, it's crazy.
Yeah, it's not real. It's not real.
Bro, she said I'm nuts, bro.
Look, she nuts, but that's gonna be the system.
No, it's not. Bro. All right, look, let's tell the public the story first. So, to the public, rapper NBA YoungBoy was recently locked up because he was beating on his little girlfriend. It's video footage and everything. So, he locked up right now, can't get out. He already on probation for a shootout. He was part of a drive-by. He was part of a drive-by, so he already on probation for that. Anyway, so his girlfriend is trying to basically plead the case and say that it wasn't nothing serious with that situation and that they was just play fighting or whatnot. I want to play what she actually said word for word.
Acting stupid.
Here it goes. This crazy. You talking about the hotel surveillance?
And I straight got something to say about that.
All right, that's enough for that. That's enough for that. Hold on. Look, here's some more.
Oh my God.
Oh, they watching it.
Let me know when I can make my comment.
Yeah, we gonna hold you off. I want to talk about it.
I want
we gonna talk about it.
I want Chris to go.
All right, that's enough. Yeah,
Right.
Hey, basically, Shotty out her mind. Now, Crystal, is there ever a time where being beat by a man is acceptable?
It's never acceptable. And I'm a woman. I've been through it before. It's never acceptable. Because my thing is, it starts off with that little shit. The next thing you know, then if it don't stop or if you don't leave, because he ain't gonna stop, he gonna end up killing you. Like I've been there before, and I feel like if I wouldn't have left the situation, I would be dead right now. Like she dumb in the brain, and obviously
even if you are surrounded by millions of dollars.
It doesn't matter. No amount of money should make you be okay with being publicly humiliated multiple times. This nigga whooped your ass, drugged you, and then you on here defending him for money. For money. No.
Oh, he stripped her?
For money.
He stripped on top of her.
That's not the only thing he's done to her though. Like, it's not okay.
And with me saying what I'm saying, I don't want nobody to take this as I'm condoning any of it, because I don't.
He's condoning.
I really don't, bro, because I feel as though we are men, we masculine, bro. Like no amount. Now, probably a different story. Me myself, no amount of pressure from a female can actually affect me, so I should be able to overcome that. Now, there are times that you go overboard, which that might have been a time, but at the same time,
Good job, baby.
for the people that deal with this type of issues that have, because we don't really know our old girl, and by her statement alone, I can tell she out the wild.
She don't have no guidance.
She out the wild, so I'm pretty
no
sure.
guidance.
I'm pretty sure she brings a lot of drama to young boys.
Right.
So for that, she wait. Just let me finish. So for that, she feels as though she owes him that much to make things right. The only way to make that whole situation right is to act like y'all was clean.
Because now she messing up the money.
But you can't with the system, bro. That's the main victim in the whole situation. The only way to beat that is for the laws to actually do their work and counter that. You can't beat that if the actual victim, the person.
We already know, bro. Once it's in the law's hands, it's a wrap. It don't matter what she say.
Yes,
bro. It don't matter, bro.
Because she take
once the laws take it up, bro. We know somebody in that situation.
Look, the girl is going to take. She's going to take the stand. If they can't, bro, it's like certain guidelines. See, this what a lot of people. I wish we would have brought this up with the judge here, because she would have been able to clear a lot of this up for me. This is what I'm trying to get people to understand. Because I done been to trial before, so I know how it works. So you got her. She's the main victim. She's the main victim in the situation. Right. So when she get on stand, even if they take him to trial, when she get on stand, if she sit up there and say what she's saying on Facebook, we were playing. They have to abide by that unless it's something with the system. Now, if it's something with the system where they regulating and guideline the jury to sway a certain way, then he will be convicted of that offense. But because it's the actual victim that was in the drama, they gotta ride with what she's saying, bro.
I understand that.
It's without a reasonable doubt.
Because she young.
It's without a reasonable doubt. So you have an actual victim. Okay, Crystal, you feel the way that you feel.
But you gotta understand, okay, yeah, she young and she dumb, so that's why she's okay with it. I mean, I've been there before. I've been there twice, so I do understand. But my whole thing is, when is it gonna stop? When she dead, is that when it's gonna stop? My thing is, where's her parents? Where's her guidance? She's okay with it.
Obviously, she don't have people.
I understand. You want to tell she obviously don't. But my
obviously,
thing is,
she don't have people in her
but
corner
it's
like
been
that.
But my-
multiple things
she
that
have
we
her people-
haven't
But my
before
thing
this.
is too,
You know what her mama them
you
tell her?
not putting a probation into play.
Yeah, that's
Nigga,
That's what you leave.
You have
out.
to get a conviction. You have to get a conviction for the probation to be in play.
be a violation.
You have to get a conviction.
Accountability though. Everybody has to fall and learn something.
Hold
on, come
up to the
Time in
mic,
their
come
life.
up to the
I'm
mic.
not gonna necessarily say I'm gonna take her age
What I'm- no,
accountability.
listen,
It's because I was
No,
born as
what
hell.
you
and I
saying?
went
Hey,
through
JT,
shit.
Hold on.
Nah.
Hold on. Fam, state your name, fam.
My name Lex.
All right, then go ahead with your
Hey, but my question to the group is, do we not take her age into accountability? I mean, it's a phase in everybody's life to where we all fall and we have to learn something. It's different strokes for different folks.
It is.
And that's
Hey, let me answer your question.
that shit ain't shit.
Wait.
Like he's saying, they young, bro. They young a while. They don't even realize on both ends really how severe.
His young boy only
I-
18.
Let me-
He's like 18, 19.
Let me answer that.
But I'm saying they don't even realize how severe it really is what they doing.
Let me answer that. Look, bro, everybody that's been watching, bro, like, especially people of our color, so you know what they going through.
Yeah.
Like, these are people that was in the rut. Like, young boy is he has a talent for sure. He attracts people. He does have a light right now. But at the same time, where they come from, you think that girl mama really telling her, you need to go on and do what you're supposed to do? She not. Girl, you need to get that bag. You need to clear that up for that boy.
Listen,
You need to
okay.
clear that up for that boy, and we'll handle that how it
I
goes.
believe it.
And that's how it goes.
I believe it.
I'll let it
But
G. I'm
listen.
saying, like,
But look,
do we think?
No, this is
Okay.
this is where we at, bro.
Let
Like,
me know when I can come.
basically, it's like, bro, we have to take over our own law, bro. We gotta take over our own law because it we really put in a bad position because you know what young boy did was not good. Like you know he was out of line for what he did.
And she
But at the
went
same
through that.
time, you know how these white people gonna do him.
But you also have to
Yeah,
understand their
but
circumstances.
he needs to
What
be
you
held
mean?
accountable for what he did.
He can be held accountable,
She
but
wanna
at the
sit here
same
and she
time,
wanna lie for him
bro, at the
because
same
the
time,
money is
Hold up,
good.
George.
Okay.
Hold up.
Yes,
Hold
but
up.
at the
yes,
same
well.
time,
Hold up, George. Y'all.
Check this out. What's your name, man?
Crystal.
Crystal, I feel everything that you're saying. I do believe that he should be punished and held accountable for his actions. But as far as the young lady circumstances, like, I'm a young man that was born and raised in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I know, the circumstances that they are up against. It's times where it's flooding in Baton Rouge where you got dead bodies and caskets floating down your street. So do we want to really sit here and say that this young lady is absolutely absurd or that she's wrong or that she's delusional? No, but chasing a dollar. Knowing her circumstances from the circumstances
It's not
that I
love.
just gave.
Are they not truly in
yeah,
love?
it's because she's
Are we not
blind.
gonna put love into play if this?
Exactly.
And I
Bro, it's
understand
not
that
up to-
because I
and
deal with
honestly,
shit
Let them
because-
figure
And
it
honestly,
out. They young. If she cool with it, let them figure it out.
Yeah, but my
It's
thing
growing
is-
pains.
But my thing is, when is she gonna stop? When she in the hospital?
They
But when
18,
she
they
dead, I
young.
understand.
Crystal,
I understand because
you have to-
hold on.
I've
Hold on. Let me say this real
What?
quick. You said you was going through it.
I've
Did
been
you-
there before.
Did you stop after the first time?
No, I didn't.
Exactly.
Then you
And
gotta
I-
let them
and
get
I-
from it.
no,
You gotta let
but
them
I
figure it
think-
out.
Yeah, and the
But
reason
see,
why
both
is
of your
because-
experiences,
because,
right?
like I said, if I wouldn't have left, I would be dead right now. That's what I'm saying. So you
Maybe this will
doing
teach
that
him a
because
lesson.
she young.
Okay.
It's not gonna teach him a lesson.
You don't think so?
No,
He was
I think
denied-
my
he was
ex
denied
my ex
bail.
went to
It's
prison
not-
he was
and
denied
everything, and he's
bail.
still-
It's not-
he's still the
look,
same. After
he
he got
can't-
out,
he
he
can't
back in
now.
there.
He was denied.
No.
This is
That don't
what.
mean nothing.
Hey, this
Okay.
this part of it. This ain't got nothing
He
to do.
needs help.
But
Check
that
this
part
out.
of it, ain't got nothing to do with nobody but young boy.
Yeah, but she
If
needs
young
to
boy
stop
wants to
making
learn from this
excuses.
situation, he will. If he don't, he
Because you
won't.
know, homegirl put this on blast months
Exactly.
ago.
Yeah, exactly.
One of her little friends. Apparently, she stopped messing with the entourage. She put it on blast like, oh, the only reason young boy with her is because she let them flip girls together. He'll come in like, baby, let's knock this off. She be down for whatever, and she gonna stay because of the money.
Okay, but if she down with that, what make you think she ain't gonna stand up for it?
But I mean that we not talking about that. She doing what she supposed to.
But that's what
I'm saying once it's in the hand of the crackers, bro, it's no way.
Exactly. So we can't allow the crackers to get a hold of young boy.
And look,
so she needs to do her job.
I agree with both of y'all.
But y'all can talk about this topic all day.
Yeah, but look,
bro. We need to
but
move
first of all, before we move on, before we move on,
but it's a good discussion.
It's been a good ass discussion. Y'all saying the same thing over and over, my
but
nigga.
before we move on, we need to reach out to Crystal. You know, she is the only lady on this podcast, and we don't want you to feel like we being unsympathetic, you know, to what a woman, you know what I'm saying?
Don't feel like that young.
You know what I'm saying?
Everybody know that's gonna happen. Hopefully he learned his lesson.
Yeah.
From this.
I mean,
that's
I understand.
That's what I'm thinking.
We are hoping, but let's be real.
But
He's
see,
not. It's
but
gonna
okay,
be a
see,
continuous
at the end of the
pattern
day,
until he
talking
gets
about me,
help.
If he realize if it's jeopardizing his paper like that,
He's not gonna. I mean, yeah, okay, yeah, because you know what? When that shit happened to Chris Brown, he chilled out. But
You think
my
they didn't
thing
leave
is,
each other alone?
he's been disrespecting her. We've seen him publicly disrespect her. So at the end of the day, it is on her. Because obviously she does not have guidance. But my whole issue is he needs to be held accountable. I don't care how much money he makes. He needs to be held accountable. If you want to get on the stand, you want to lie for this man, that's on you. But my thing is, when you turn up dead a few months from now, then everybody gonna be like, well, we should have did something sooner. But hey, I mean, but that's on her. If she chooses to deal with it, that's her. Because like I said, I've been there before. I chose to deal with it. Yeah, I walked away from it. But I'm saying, like, she is young, so she probably is in love, and all she sees is dollar signs. She don't care about the disrespect. I mean, but that's on her dumb ass. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, I can't judge her because, like I said, we've all been there before.
Right.
But
women can't change men. Life
you
experience
can, but money.
Life experience.
But that's the thing that
so him going through this.
That's what I'm saying. He going through this
trial.
Let's pray for it.
He's
gonna learn.
If a nigga got money, that means you're supposed to.
I'm not saying.
Let me.
No, big boss
I'm understanding.
We got 11 minutes left, right?
That's what I'm saying. This gonna go all day.
All day. I'm gonna get the last word.
No. You long.
No, I'm not. But look, it ain't gonna be long-winded, but this is my thing right here. Look,
This is his thing.
This is the whole thing. This is where the juice.
The what?
So did y'all see? Hey, did y'all see that? Little take that he gets Little take that gets switched on. Do we think it's over? Do we think he got a chance?
We're not gonna
Big boss. Big boss. We out there.
As I told you
about your mic off.
I told you.
No, I'm not letting it go. I'm not
Let me talk. Oh, there we go.
It's the crowd.
For real.
It's the crowd.
I want everybody to understand this, bro. Look,
what's up, man?
We need more time.
This is what the judicial system don't understand, bro. They have never been involved with our black queens, bro. They don't know how hard it is.
Nah, Jordan.
No,
you going
shut up. No, I'm not. I don't give a fuck. I don't care. I'm cussing everything. Let me talk. I'm a cuss some more. Let me talk.
He hit the board.
Let me talk.
Joy,
let me talk.
We got 10 minutes.
This is what people need to hear, bro.
Nobody cares.
People do need to care. They need to care,
bro. Let them say it.
It's a difference, bro. Like our black queens, they are something. Like for real.
I'm black movie.
And it's hard to deal with.
Nigga, you ain't
bro. Becky goes with everything. So that's why white people don't understand. What a white man says
Becky
goes.
with the good hair?
It's not that.
Don't
So,
ask me no more questions.
Okay.
bro, it's not that. It's
Okay.
not that.
I just got
deal.
one
Okay, I
quick
can
thing
get
to
that.
say.
Bro,
So
it's
did
not-
y'all see about
Y'all
that?
not letting me finish.
Let
Because you
him
were
finish.
done.
Let
Turn
him
him off.
I fuck
Turn him off.
I'll fuck this whole bitch up. I'll fuck this whole bitch up. I'll fuck this whole
This
bitch
way
up.
don't
I'll
finish.
fuck it up.
Chill.
I
Hurry
will
up.
fuck it up for real.
Hurry up.
Let me talk.
Good, real talk. We done with that, bro. We done.
I'm not
We
done.
went too deep.
It is the brown.
This is
What? Look,
See that?
TK.
No, no.
Do we think TK done?
Fuck TK. You got snitched on by a white bitch.
But listen
Done.
though. But listen
Damn.
though. But to what you
Bro,
were saying.
back to what I was saying.
No,
No,
let me say
no,
one
you
thing.
need to go listen.
George, real
But
talk,
let
bro.
me
We
tell you
ain't got enough
something.
time to
The
listen.
system-
You need to.
But
No,
listen.
bro. We
But
ain't got enough
Georgia,
time for that,
Georgia,
bro.
Hey,
Georgia.
we gonna go out. We going out, y'all.
I
We going out.
got something. I got something.
We going out and
Bro,
stay.
I
George.
got something.
If a nigga ain't gonna listen to
George,
me, this how we going out.
George.
This how we going out.
Georgia. But what you have to understand
George, you gotta
is
get.
the
Hey,
system. What
G
the
G over there shaking his
cannot
head at us, bro.
protect. But
Relax.
it was the system was never built to protect us.
Ah, now she done got it.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Bro, how does NBA young boy beating his airhead girlfriend after the
No, but let me go. Let me
Let me
finish. If you let me finish, we would have had
You,
time.
bro, you
Hold on, so we got one more time for
Quick.
TK, right?
Yes, bro.
TK.
We got snitched on by a white
And
bitch.
he did not
Period.
beat the race.
Period.
Can
This
we
is our last
speak
episode.
our piece on TK?
Yeah.
We got snitched on by a white bitch.
Look.
He did.
Hold on, let the A mic.
All right, look.
That's why you niggas never
TK,
know.
everybody who's been following TK,
Yeah,
he's
wow.
been he was convicted of 2 murders.
Retarded, bro.
One of the participants in the murder happens to be a white female. Decided that she will testify
Yeah.
for a lesser sentence. Is this the end for TK? Is this beginning and the end for TK? Keith,
It is.
I want to hear
Not the
your.
end.
I think it's the end.
I think so, man.
It's
a wrap.
Just because of
It's a wrap.
the racial issues, you know what I'm saying?
Shit whack.
I'm
Nigga
a,
gave a white cracker bitch the floor.
That nigga, wow.
All I want to do
I
is finish
have-
my shit, bro. The reason why white motherfucking, why the laws don't understand what we go through, because they don't deal with our shit.
Okay, that's understood.
We can do it.
No, shut up.
We know that.
Becky abides by everything that nigga said.
It's TK.
That's bro. He said
Becky with the
that.
good hair.
Why?
Becky.
I didn't say it. Fuck.
Why
He
y'all
said
think so?
damn cup in that bottle in your hand right there.
how she gonna testify against everything? She was the accomplice. She was the one that basically told me to come
Exactly. That's what I was saying.
Hey, look, she go testify for a lesser city. She
You
ain't
right.
getting off.
But that's
She just go tell them what happened.
but that's why I say
That's
he
one
out
person.
there.
That's one person. that gets-
Exactly. Regardless, she gonna get time. This is what y'all understand.
You
You
still
think
gotta
he
think.
get off, bro?
Yes, and then he still
No.
got he
He's
wasn't
not.
the shooter.
Please.
He's not even the shooter.
But
he's
if he
an
wanted
accomplice,
for
though.
like 2
No
murders,
matter.
a
Nigga, it
accomplice.
could be a dead body cross your path, and you can do time for not calling the law.
Exactly.
And you think a nigga who was in
He's
on the
an
scam?
but
accomplice.
even
That's
he
real.
wanted for like 2 murders though.
Yeah, bro.
Like he fucked his
Right.
wife up. I don't feel bad for him. I mean,
Hold on.
he's talking about he
Y'all
did
cut me
rape.
out for a
Yeah, he
fucking
raped
snitch
the
ass cracker
prison.
bitch.
That's all he
Relax,
did.
relax.
No,
Fuck
like,
relax.
I
You
don't feel
niggas
bad for
stupid.
them. Who's
Y'all still leaving niggas
Hey,
blind.
but so hold up. So
Shut up.
you
So
have
what
to
you
be
want
okay.
us to
So how do
inform
you
them
feel?
on,
Like,
man?
like, you going off of pure faith. Give me a fact as to how
Yeah,
you
how's
survived
he getting
this.
off, bro?
That's what I want to know.
He
Like,
don't know. Look at his face. I know he don't know what he about to say right now.
No.
He don't know what he about to say.
How will he get off?
he not getting
The
off?
bitch gonna leave
Yeah.
take their
Hold
ass.
on, wait.
See,
Hold
so
on.
he-
Hold on, where did he come from? He ain't got a deal yet. The money coming from
The
the
cracker
city.
bitch gonna
He
leave
got
take
a
their
deal.
ass.
He already signed. He
himself, and then I had on one song. You think
See, I think it's
people
usually-
behind him like that?
I don't believe so.
Bro,
Kodak,
it did.
I don't believe
Kodak
so.
get
One
out
song.
But
Kidnapping.
see, Kodak,
and all the other crap.
look how
he did.
many celebrities
He did.
visit Kodak Black in jail. I'm talking about Plies, Rick Ross. He has money behind him.
But regardless, regardless, bro,
He ain't got
regardless,
enough money.
regardless if he
They
got
can't
money,
know. I
nigga,
know.
yeah.
Back to what I was saying.
Now these
Man.
white people, they don't understand your lives because they know what
Man.
you
Bro,
I'm out of here. John Jay signing out.
So
Becky
Becky goes along with whatever he said.
Porter,
So we don't have to worry about that.
Vote
Now-
for Frida Porter.
Now our
Justice
black
of the
queens,
peace,
they
March
have a
6th,
bigger voice than
Frida
us.
Porter. Let's get it.
So they voice their opinions.
Bro, he's still
And
going. Bro,
sometimes you gotta go into physical
Hey, bro,
shit.
stay off the
You gotta
brown,
go
man.
physical.
Hey, that's a product of Crown and Beans.
That's a